Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a very pleasant night to you, my pack, and welcome back once more to Vega Conflict, also known as the mind-stealing game, because it just slowly drains away your sanity. I intend on playing around with the carrier, which I got just a few minutes ago, and just hitting some high-level targets, seeing if I can break it like the good old days, have a good laugh, and then I'll send you on to the not tired version of me that recorded stuff earlier to talk about the vessel, the new tech, and yada yada yada. One thing I will do now, though, that I forgot to do there was take a quick look at... Yeah, so the Gore and the other Warhead are the ones that are in the shop right now. So that's one thing I forgot to mention, because I think that the thing is, just like every other time we get specials, it's some in the main event, some in the mobilization, some in the decimation. I'm going to go hit a target or two, depending on how long it takes to break the carrier, and I'll send you over to that one, and I'm going to head to bed. Alright. I expect this to go horribly, and I expect to be laughing my butt off while it's going on, so... First things first, start the attack.
Relocating. Underway. Locking coordinates. Relocating. Locking coordinates. Relocating.
There we go.
Proceeding. Target identified. Relocating. Proceeding. Relocating.
Oh. It does, it has lights on it. That's cool for its little special animation.
Locking coordinates. Course laid in.
Wait a minute. They are. They're shooting energy bolts. Okay, that's...
Underway.
It would appear as though the dev team made a tiny mistake.
Relocating. Underway.
I saw those little yellow flicker and I sat there for a second thinking, hold on. The prefit was supposed to have the kinetic one if I'm not mistaken, or I could just be looking at it wrong and it could be the energy, but that looks yellow to me. I might have to take a look once I'm done here at the prefit in the store again real quick.
Target located.
Because that definitely seems
Underway.
off to me.
Laid in. Locking coordinates. Relocating. Locking coordinates. Proceeding. Relocating. Underway.
Now I'm not worried about the repair time, because like I said before, once I'm done here, I'm heading to bed, so repair time means absolutely nothing right now. I just want to see if you could kite with it. Good old-fashioned carrier kiting at that.
Underway.
And these are basically the weakest squadrons it has due to the lower damage, but they do have shield bypass. I would prefer refitting them as soon as possible to the explosive ones, because a little bit of range, a little bit of damage. Either that or do a mix and go energy and explosive. One to drain the shields a little bit more quickly, and one to pick apart the vessels once the shields are gone.
Relocating. Underway. Locking coordinates. Course laid in.
So it is just barely fast enough that if you just go in a straight line, eventually cruisers in the target will fall behind. This is without thrusters or anything, if I'm not mistaken. It just has an upper layer of stuff, and that's it. Oh wait, I actually think it has all of these squadrons. I see red, I see yellow, I see blue. I'm actually going to have to check after I'm done here, because that actually might have all of the squadrons on it.
Underway.
Well, all of them aside from the level 1 Blood one. I might not have been paying attention to the fitting at all.
Underway.
If it does have all of the squadrons but the Blood one, that'll be interesting. It looks like it's got 2 kinetic, 1 energy, and 1 explosive. And I'm only seeing the energy hitting it. Oh, and it survived. Okay then. Well, I expected that to blow up and have a good laugh, but it seems like that's not the case. Go ahead and watch the rest of the video if you want to. I'm going to head to bed now. That was interesting. Okay, now that the first part of the video is over, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the stats of the Atlas carrier, the blueprint specifically, the squadrons it launched with, and the new specials that will be coming out over the course of this month. We've got the first one already in the event, which we'll take a look at, but for now, let's go over the blueprint stuff first. Then we'll cover all of the blueprint stuff for the specials, and then we'll say what ones are coming out when. Well, what one we already have. Okay, so Atlas carrier. Right off the bat, you're looking at a 2-hour repair time. Not half bad if I say so myself. It is classified as a carrier, which means that it's going to have squadrons, and it's going to be its primary damage output source. You're looking at 450,000 hit points without any armor equipped on it. It's going to weigh 20,000 tons maximum mass at Mark 1, so not half bad. It has a support field, specifically an agility support field, so it's classic carrier in that regard. I'll compare it to the actual classic carriers in another video. The support range of the field is 11,000 meters, so sounds about right for what they used to be. In-sector speed is 600 astronomical units per hour. Cargo is 3,500,000 tons, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the same as the Undaunted battleship. It has a forward speed of 300 meters per second, which I think is actually faster than the old-school carriers. Might be slower or around the same. I just don't recall them at all right now, because it's been a very long time since I used them. Rotation speed of 15 degrees per second, and a strafe speed of 50 meters per second. Let's take a look at the modifiers and see exactly what the benefit of the agility support field is, as well as take a look at the resistances. Then we'll go ahead and we'll talk about the squadrons, the specials, which ones we have right now in the event, and I'll let you get on with your day or whatever you're doing. So right off the bat, we have the same Spectre resistances that I always get rid of, which I'm not going to edit out this time due to a time crunch, so you will see them, but they're a massive damage increase for no reason against a faction that they're also 100% resistant to, which is silly. Resurgence of 20%, and let's take a look at support field first. 20% agility increase, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a forward speed and a strafe speed increase. It might also include a rotation speed, but I don't recall at the moment. But that'll be easy to test in the video later on. Let us get along to the resistances and then move over to the squadrons first. So resistances, it is fully resistant to Altarian, Umbral, Pharmacon, Spectre, Retrociders, Retrosyn, and Blight Nebulas. It has no specialized resistances aside from that though, so it's kind of an odd one with that regard, which is kind of a shame. They'd be better off just leaving resistances like that off the panel completely, because they don't need to be displayed, because you're completely immune to something. And it's different than resistance. Okay, so after that we're going to take a look at the Vega kinetic squadrons first, then the energy, then the explosives. So right off the bat, 34,874 damage per second for the level 1. It weighs 2,961 tons. not half bad. It flies for 30 seconds, has a scramble range of 9,000 meters, has a speed of 1,200 meters, and has 156,762,000 hit points, and has shield bypass. It has 10% shield bypass to be specific. Compared to level 2, level 2 has 5% more shield bypass. It has 182,512 hit points. Same speed, same scramble, same flight, and it weighs 3,522 tons. And damage per second is 53,462. Not a half bad increase. Let's go over the level 1 Vega Energy Squadron now. We got 52,853 damage per second. It weighs 3,300 and... Aren't those the stats from the kinetic? Give me a second here. Those are extremely similar to the kinetic damage values. That's kind of a shame. But back to it. It's 52,853 damage per second, weighs 3,385 tons, flies for 30 seconds, has a scramble range of 7,500 meters, and a flight speed of 2,000 meters per second. They're very healthy though, 182,631 hit points. Those are definitely the brawlers for the close range carriers. Level 2. You're looking at 65,729 damage per second. Very nice. 4,459 tons. Same flight time, same scramble range, same speed, and 223,811 hit points. There are certain commanders that would very, very heavily benefit those types of ones, especially those that boost hit points and damage. Let's go over the explosive 1 and 2, and then we'll get on to the specials, and I'll send you all on your way. So right off the bat, we're seeing a step down from the energy, and level 1, we have 43,834 hit points. Read that forwards and read that backwards. It's the same forwards and it's the same backwards. That's terrible. I wonder if the development team did that intentionally or not. Mass, 3,119 tons. Flight time, it flies for 40 seconds, has a scramble range of 8,500 meters per second, a speed of 1,500 meters per second, and it has quite a decent amount of health, surprisingly. 168,325 hit points. That is interesting. Level 2. We're looking at 59,492 hit points, weighing in at 3,971 tons. Same flight time as level 1, same scramble range as level 1, same speed as level 1, and hit points, 202,421 hit points. That is impressive in the hit points department, but then again, with missiles and everything in the air, that's gonna die fairly quickly regardless, so might be impressive on paper, but in practice, it'll get butchered fairly quickly. And on to the last but not least, the specials for the blood weapons. Gonna take a look at the Vitality rounds level 1, level 2 first. So right off the bat, they affect all blood weapons. All of these specials only affect blood weapons, but they affect all weapon mass, but they have a much, much lower mass requirement due to them only positively benefiting the blood weapons. So right off the bat, 5% weapon mass. Not bad. It only applies to drivers, and it only increases speed by 700 meters per second. Let's take a look at the level 2's weight and weapon speed increase, because it's going to have the same blood and driver requirements. Well, application. So 3% weight increase, so it weighs in at 8% of the weapon mass, and it boosts weapon speed by 1,100 meters per second. That's not half bad. Alright, on to Pulse Launchers 1 and 2. Weighing in at 6% weapon mass, and affecting beam and cannon weapons, it increases the range by 500 meters. Alright, so this is going to be the one that we equip with the Clot Beam and the... Wait. It applies to beam and cannon weapons only. We've only gotten ray weapons, if I'm not mistaken, so far. I'm probably going to put on screen the weapons that we've gotten so far that are beam and cannon wise for tier 13. But getting back on track, level 2. It has 2% more mass, so it weighs in at 8% for level 2, and it increases the range by 750 meters, which is 250 more than level 1. Not half bad. I'll definitely want to try and pick up some level 3s. I wonder if the base equivalent is going to just be a copy and paste of these. If it is, that'll be kind of a shame, but the weight would definitely be a benefit over the standard specials we have. Just going to have to wait and see. Gore Warheads 1 and 2. So weighing in at 6% of the total weapon mass, it only applies to missile and torpedoes. Makes sense. It only increases the area of effect radius. 250 meters for the level 1, and 350 for the level 2. And similar to the pulse launchers, it is the exact same weapon mass, so 6% and 8%. And only 100 meter increase in the explosive radius. Alright. Well, let's get back to the base and I'll send you all off now. Because I still have some farming to do for the beginning of the video. I still have some stuff to do. But that's going to be it for now, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the little stats breakdown. This video is definitely running on. I'm now looking over at the recording. Definitely want to end it. So, be safe out there. Happy hunting, and as always, I'll see you next time.